What is going on, guys? It's Waytown27. This will be my first video on this channel, so I thought I'd start with kind of a roster tour, show you what champions I have, what content I've completed, and what content I plan on completing. So we'll start up here. As you can see, I have about a 1 million hero rating and 10,500 prestige. I'm not really, up there like a lot of people. I just kind of wanted to get my prestige around 10,000 for the Alliance. And eventually, once, rank 3s are a bit more available, I'll get it up there a little bit higher. So as you can see, I am Thronebreaker. I currently only have one 6-star at rank 3, and it's Human Torch. He was my first ever 6-star actually, and when I first got him I was a little disappointed. Didn't really know much about him, but it was when he first came into the basic crystal. But obviously as time went on, people just like myself realized how good he was and just how dominant he is in this game. So mine is actually awakened because of Cyber Weekend deals. I pulled him out of a Nexus, and then because of the deals I had a bunch of 6 stones in the overflow. I ended up just pumping a bunch of 6 stones into him, got him at like an even 100, and I sit on a bunch of 6 stones. As you can see, I got 87 plus 1 generics and 15 plus 5 generics, and a few colored for him as well. And then if we move on, I have Aegon, who is a champion that I hunted forever. It actually took me until the incursion crystals came out, and on the second one I got him, but I had spent hundreds of thousands of shards trying to get him because I really wanted to do Abyss. But not having him is just, it just makes it too difficult, and I wasn't really trying to go through all that hassle. As well as Omega Red. Omega Red was actually my first Sig 200 5-star. I pulled him out of the skill and mutant while I was going for Aegon, but I never really liked his playstyle. But once you get used to it and you see all of the content he can complete, and he just makes people like Korg and Nick Fury and other champs like that just a breeze. I also have some other ones like Void. Everybody has Void, but he's super good. Incinerating Man, he makes the game a lot easier, and if you can really fight clean and not take hits and you just wait out the fight, he will just demolish anybody. As well as Sunspot. I know a lot of people think Sunspot isn't that good. I think Sunspot is absolutely amazing. I love Sunspot. He does unreal damage in short amount of time. But in a lot of other bigger content where you need to deal more damage than what he can, doing this special 3 cycle is not really ideal, and I don't really mess with him for that kind of stuff. But if it's just a short fight and they're like at 40-50,000 PI, then Sunspot is great for that. I also have Captain Marvel Movie, who is a champ that when I first got her, I didn't like her at all. I ranked her up for the Nick Fury synergy, and she grew on me, and I used her for a while. But she's one of those champions I just don't use that often because I feel like there's a lot of better champions that can deal damage a lot faster. I just think Captain Marvel's build-up and her transition into fights is just a little, too long for me, and it's a little bit risky too. You just gotta parry, back off, unless they have an easy special bait out. But for other champions, it's just too much of a hassle, so I don't really mess with that. And when you dex and hold block, it'll trigger her binary early, and sometimes you have to do that for certain specials, so it just depends on the matchup. And then there's Medusa, who's a character that I slept on for a really long time. I seen what she could do to robots, and I thought she was just alright. But once I learned how to play her, and that her armor shatter is super effective even if they're not robots, because then she starts applying bleeds, which deal crazy amounts of damage, and it shuts down a lot of things. And I really enjoy Medusa. The poison immunity is just amazing. She's one of the best champions in the Cosmic class by far. I used to think it was Captain Marvel Movie and Corvus, but I really think Medusa is up there now. I also have Black Widow Clairvoyant, who is probably my best mystic on my team. All her immunity switching from him is really cool. Her Hellfire damage is absolutely amazing, and her regen is one of the best in the game if you can use it properly. I also have Guillotine2099, who's a character I pulled on the 4th of July from one of those deals, and at first I really didn't like her. She's alright still. I mean, it's just the build-up that's really hard, and you have to find the right content for her. She's not good for everything, but once you get that first fight out of the way, the rest of them are just an absolute breeze. Cakewalk. She deals unreal damage. It's a little tricky to get the special 3 transition, but like once you get the hang of it, she's dealing just crazy amounts of damage, and her regen, once she gets a little bit lower on her health pool, is really, really good regen and helps out a lot. And every single fight, you get another regen as long as you don't use all of your pre-fights. And then Elsa Bloodstone is another champion that a lot of people slept on, including myself, but one of the people I play this game with, he pulled Elsa as a 5, or maybe it was a 6-star, and he used her forever, and then I tried her out on his account, and she just blew me away. I don't know what it is about her, but she can get around a lot of stun immune characters, not like Mordo or anybody like that, but for people that have the stun immunity node, with her bullet, you can get a stun like that. So you use the bullet and then you'll go in and you'll do a 5 combo, but you have to wait for the bullet to reset. But it's kind of helpful if you don't really know how to use stun immune. I mean, most people do now, but back when I first tried her and I was fighting stun immune, it was really helpful, so I didn't have to take a lot of chip damage. Hitmonkey is another character that I just recently got up here. I really enjoy Hitmonkey. I think he's a lot of fun. I just don't see me bringing him into a lot of content. For being a skill champion, I just feel like there's better options like Nick Fury, but other than that, Hitmonkey is great. He's a pretty tough character to fight, and he's a really good defender. I also got Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. He's a character that I use a lot for Alliance Quest, just because I don't use a lot of champions, so in my roster I'll just switch it around and use different characters all the time. Sorcerer Supreme, she's actually a character that I just recently got on Cyber Weekend, and as you could see, I could take her to rank 3 if I wanted to. I'm a bit nervous on that. I really want to use it on Doom, so I'm kind of just waiting it out. I plan on doing the Abyss here soon, so if I pull another Mystic, I'll for sure take her to rank 3. But other than that, I'm just waiting. I really want Doom or Claire, but Sorcerer is really, really good. I just not mastered her playstyle yet, but I'm really, really practicing her and trying my best. I know she does some damage mitigation that is really good, but other than that, you know, she's an amazing champion. I also pulled Nick Fury as a 6-star. I took him to rank 2. He's a character that I'm prepared to take to rank 3, even if he's unawakened, just because when he is awakened, he's just that good. I love Nick Fury. My 5-star is amazing. I would love to get this guy duped, so once I do my clear in the Abyss, I'm really, really hoping for double skill. I think that would be perfect. I'd love to get the tier 5 classes skill and the awakening gem. It would just be perfect, because then I'd take Nick Fury to rank 3, and I think he's one of the best champions in the game by far. And then we keep on moving. I have Warlock, who is another champion that everybody loves. He's probably the best in the tech class unless you can really, really effectively use Ghost. But I think Warlock probably edges out Ghost for me because I'm not the best Ghost player. But I really, really enjoy her. I just think Warlock is easier to use. And he has a lot of utility. I love his power drain, his immunities. Just everything about Warlock is absolutely phenomenal. If I could get this guy as a 6-star, instantly would take him to rank 3. Instantly. And then we have Mojo, another character that I don't really use too often. He's good, he's fun, but I mostly ranked him up for defense, but by now everybody knows how to fight Mojo, so he doesn't really do too much. But and now that Flo's gone, he's not the best defender anymore, but he's alright on Protect. Nothing too special, but, you know, if you take in Human Torch, he's a piece of cake. And then we already talked about Nick Fury, character that is just unreal with bleeds. Make sure you have the masteries for him, but he melts anybody. Blade, I think I ranked this guy up just because I pulled him, and I really liked his character in the comics and in the movies. I loved this character, and I just ranked him up because I liked him, and I mean he's a good character, he's a good champ, but he's a bit outdated. But he's a lot of fun. I really enjoy him. Sometimes I team him up with Spidey for the synergy in Alliance Quest. And then Symbiote Supreme. This is a character that caught me by surprise. I know everybody talks about how good he is, and I do agree he's pretty good, but when I first got him as a 4-star, I tried him out and I hated him because I just didn't understand him. But once I got him as a 6-star, and I took him to rank 2 because I had some catalysts expiring, and I just fell in love with the character. I fought Venom with him, and his cycle deals so much damage. It power steals. It completely keeps characters from getting to their special 3 once you get into his kind of cycle. And the only thing I don't like about him is his stagger. Sometimes it falls off, and you can't get one on in time if you're doing a certain node that grants the opponent unstoppable or something like that. But other than that, Symbiote Supreme is a really, really good character. His bleeds do a lot of damage, and I really enjoy him. Dragon Man, another character that I was kind of surprised by. I knew he was a really good defender and a tough character to fight against, but once you fight with him, he's got the few immunities, bleed and poison, and his ability, once you get him in the corner, he deals crazy amounts of damage, and his special 2, once you get the incinerates on him and then you parry and throw a heavy, it basically just converts them all to real-time damage and takes away the incinerates. It's just amazing. I use him in Alliance Quest a lot because I take the poison path, and I don't have Hyperion or anybody like that, so I kind of just stick to Dragon Man, and then sometimes Captain Marvel or Omega. And then I have Longshot, who's a character I pulled from the featured 6-star this past month. And Longshot's a lot of fun. He's a really cool character. He has some really good uses, but overall he's not like a character you can take into any matchup unless you have a lot of time and you just want to chip away. You ideally want somebody with buffs, as for most Mystics they want Cosmics, because Cosmics gain a lot of buffs. But he's a really fun character, and I kind of just ranked him up because I didn't really have anybody else to, and I just thought it'd be fun to use him. Domino, she's one of my first 6-stars, as well as Torch. She was my first rank 2 6-star though, and I would use her Trinity for pretty much all my content. She was amazing for that, but she's another character that I don't really use too often unless the nodes really fit her. Other than that, she just kind of sits on the bench and doesn't do much. And then we got Ghost. I know what I said about Warlock being my favorite. Ghost is still really good. I just haven't mastered her yet, and I'm not really good at her, but I can play Ghost. It's just not as efficiently as most people. She's really good. She does a lot of damage. Extremely synergy based, obviously, and I'd like to get better at her. I just don't really find the content for it, so once I start doing Act 7 and some more of Act 6, I'm probably going to have to freshen up on my Ghost skills and start getting more into her. Corvus, this is my first rank 5 5-star. Still not awakened, but I absolutely love Corvus. He was my favorite champion. I went Cavalier with a rank 4 Corvus, rank 3 Killmonger, and a rank 3 Iron Man Infinity War, and then a few rank 1 and rank 2 5-stars. But Corvus carried me through all of it. I mean, I just milked everybody down with him. It was extremely tough, and I didn't spend that many units, I don't think. I think I might have spent like 1,000 or 1,500 or something. But it wasn't like too bad, but it was more than most people. So I just really pushed for it. I was extremely impatient. And then we have Colossus, another character that, because of his buff, just made him amazing. His immunities are crazy. His parry heavy it's really good, but it's a little frustrating because if you have a character that can't be stunned or a stun immune node, he's not dealing as much damage, so you have to kind of find heavy intercepts. So you have to bait out a heavy, and hopefully you can punish their heavy with your heavy or their special attack, vice versa, and then throw your 2s. And if you can do that, then he's extremely good for every single character in this entire game, but if you can't parry heavy, then he's not really ideal. But other than that, I think he's phenomenal, and especially because this is the season of Protect, so, you know, bringing in a large is pretty much all you need to do. And then we have Apocalypse, who's my most recent character that I took all the way up. I pulled him from the featured 5-star in my very first one. Apocalypse is amazing. Everybody knows about Apocalypse. He's like the biggest thing since sliced bread on YouTube. But he does a lot of content for me. I just wish he wasn't a defender for Alliance War. And then Magic, she was probably my newest Mystic that I ranked up, just for her power control. Other than that, you know, she's alright, but she's a pretty fun character, but everybody already knows about her. And then Magneto, he's another character. Because of his buff and everything that they've done to him, including synergies with Professor X and other people like that, he just does amazing damage towards robots, even with the class disadvantage. I know a lot of people have ranked 3 this guy as a 6-star, and if I could get him, I certainly would, but other than that, I recently did Havoc. I still have yet to upgrade him. I just don't have the ISO. I'm waiting. I have a few crystal openings I plan on doing on the channel, and just to see who I get, that way when I open my 4-star crystals, I can dual class for the ISO I need. But he's another character that I just upgraded because I had expiring catalysts. Venom, this is a champ that is good for basically every single variant. Venom is really, really fun, and then he gets rid of like all the annoying spider characters. So Venom is another character I'd like to awaken, but I do have some generic 5-stars and stuff. I just don't know if he's really worth it, but when I look at my roster, I just don't really know who else I'm going to use it on. I plan on really going towards 6-stars like a lot of people. I don't really want to keep ranking at 5-stars if they're not needed. And then we'll just filter this to 5 and 6. And then I do have some other characters that aren't ranked up. I recently took Guardian to rank 5. It doesn't look like it because he's not awakened, but I plan on throwing a generic into him and throwing some Tech 6 stones onto him, so that way he can be really effective. What else do I got? I got a few other 6-stars, you know, nothing too special. A few characters I'd like to rank up still. I think number 1 on my list is maybe Mole Man. His buff was super, super good. He has True Strike underneath 10 Monster Mass, and I think that's really, really useful to have True Strike right off the bat. And then the other one I really want to rank up is Immortal Abomination. Even though this guy is extremely ugly and I hate his face, I know he's really good for the Cavalier paths. And then another one would be Namor. Namor, I don't think I have the 6 stones for him, but as soon as I do, I'll probably end up taking him up. And then if we go to my 6-stars, I opened a lot of the featured 6-star hero crystals, and I didn't really get anybody too good. The best characters I got was Dragon Man and Longshot, but I opened like 6 or 7 of them, and I got really, really bad stuff. So I don't know if I got Man-Thing from it. I might have, but I pulled Green Goblin 3 times from the featured 6-star crystals. 3 times. So I'm going to be opening a few more in a few days, and hopefully I get something better than that, but that was so disappointing. I also got Vision, and then I'm trying to remember who else was in it. I probably got Gambit from it. I might have got Cable, and I know I got Wasp as well. But other than that, I'm not too sure who I got from it, but if one of the characters you see is in the featured 6-star, then it was probably one of them. I know I also did get Elsa. I forgot about her. So yeah, Elsa, Dragon Man, and Longshot are my best ones, like by far. The rest of them are just complete trash. So bad. So disappointed. And then we'll move over to some items. I really don't want to show this, but I have a few things over here, so I figured I might as well. the biggest one is a Science 6-star Awakening Gem. I got this from like the offer on Cyber Weekend. I kind of regret buying them all because I had just awakened Human Torch and then I got this, so I have like no use for it yet, but I'm hoping I pull Thing or Captain America Infinity War. Definitely one of them, otherwise it'll just sit here and collect dust. I have a 5-star Mystic waiting for Doctor Doom. As soon as I can get him, that'll go into him, but I'd ideally like to get him as a 6-star and just keep him unawakened. And then I have 3 generics, and then once I come down here, I also have a 1 to 2 6-star rank up gem for science and tech as well. So eventually I'll use them, but right now I really don't have the characters for it. Like I said, I only have Guillotine, but she's already ranked 2. Punisher, which I don't really like his buff that much. I didn't really feel a difference in him. I just don't think he's worth rank 2ing. And then Vision, I know he has immunities, but I'm not really into him. And then with the science, I have Wasp, Mr. Fantastic, which are okay candidates, and then Mortal Hulk, which I ranked him up to give him a chance. He's another character I pulled from the featured, and I just don't like his playstyle. I know a few people do. I brought him into Alliance Quest, and he's good, but definitely not my champion. And then we'll move on over to kind of like where I'm at in quests and stuff. So with the story, in book 1, I 100%ed all of it except for Act 6. I just didn't enjoy Act 6 at all. I thought a lot of the fights were super just restrictive, and just like most people, I just didn't enjoy the content. I did enjoy the collector fight. I know some people didn't, but most people did. And then in book 2, I finished Act 7, just an initial clear. One of my main priorities is to 100% this, just so I can get the 25% of the selector for the class catalyst, and that way I could eventually take another champion up to rank 3. So my tier 5 class catalyst is currently sitting like this. I'm really close to tech, I know that. I'm not really too sure who I'm going to use it on because I don't want to touch Guillotine. I really like her, but I would rather just save it for Warlock or if I get Ghost. And then I already went over that I have a Mystic for Sorcerer Supreme if the time ever comes, but I'm really hoping to save it for Doom or Claire. And then I'm about halfway to a skill, over half for a mutant, and then we're kind of getting somewhere on science and cosmic. And then my next big thing to do is definitely the Abyss. I've kind of scouted it a little bit, but I'm still trying to figure out what champions, because I do not currently have Doom. I have a few crystals I plan on opening, hoping to get Doom, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not really 100% sure if I'm going to get him, but I'm going to open a few featured 6-stars, another 6-star, and some 5-stars. And then I'm also going to do a crystal cleanup. I have a few of the Shattered Heart crystals, as well as some other 5-stars, like the one from the female boss rush, and just a bunch of other just cluttered crystals I haven't opened in forever. But I'm mostly going for the tier 5 class catalyst and the awakening gem. I really want double skill, like I said. I won't be mad at anything. I just hope I don't get science. I think science will be my biggest one, because with the rest of them I can just sit on them and wait. So I think science and then tech, yeah, are my 2 that I don't want, but knowing this game I'm probably going to get them. I have about max 20% revives and only a few 40s, so nothing too fancy, but I don't mind digging into the units to get the clear. I feel like the rewards are pretty much top of the line for this game at the moment, so I'd kind of like to do it before it all gets outdated. But like I said, I'm going to take a few shots at getting Dr. Doom, so that way I don't have to worry about taking in somebody like Symbiote Supreme and spending those extra units. But I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for crystal cleanup and a few other openings, as well as the Abyss stream coming in the future. I really appreciate you guys watching. Take care and have a good one.